Hey, welcome back to the Long Dark, goal to 500 days. We've left off exactly where we left off at the end of episode 1. Let's go ahead and jump in and resume. Alright, so the goal for this episode is to keep clearing out Desolation Point. Now, normally I wouldn't spend this much time in one region, and you kind of want to keep it moving, but we're doing pretty good. We've got some decent weapons. Our gear kind of sucks, so I want to try and find a little bit better gear. But overall, we're doing okay. So let's keep going. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll fix up our inventory, which we didn't do last episode. When it comes to flares, I like to keep 3, usually 2 marines and 1 regular flare. The marine flares just burn quicker. The red flares last longer is what it is, but we'll get rid of this flashlight, don't need that.
Wouldn't kill me.
Drop that cam, you can only really use 2 at a time for the most part, so let's go ahead. I guess we'll eat. Oh, yeah, I guess we're doing pretty bad on hydration. There we go. Okay. I want to go to the other trailer and scope it out.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
And then once that's completely cleared out, then we'll be okay. No bear, no. Doing good. Let's go grab those cans. Well, not cans, I don't know what's there, but let's grab those items, I guess, from the boats, or check out the boats, I should say. Let's see. No, nothing. There's a wolf over there, that's fine. So the thing with this game is you can't jump, so you have to kind of just manipulate the terrain based on what you're trying to do. In some cases it's easier said than done. That wolf is coming after me, no. Okay, I'm just gonna leave then. If I don't have to fight it, I won't. Okay, let's go back in here. Warm up a little bit. Where's...
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
So, grab this stuff. Bring that back. That way we can finish our little inventory setup. And it's picking up, so that's not so good. Good, no bear, so that's okay. This cave is just down the road, that's why it's all over here. So the way it works is the bear has a designated route that it takes, and it just kind of wraps around that route constantly and then sleeps in the cave. Let's go ahead and drop a bunch of stuff. Heavy stuff that we don't need. These tools, don't need. Gunpowder, don't need. So the gunpowder we can make bullets with. That car battery we could cut it open, pull the lead out of it, and then make more bullets. And we may do that. Well, not may, we will do that eventually, but it's a bit of a process, so it's not something we're going to do until we start actually running low on bullets, or we have the opportunity to go to Bleak Inlet. Let's So we're gonna go ahead and put stuff on the shelf
Not
here
sure I can
because
carry much
everything has
more.
conditions. And if once it's ruined, if there's nothing for it to do, it'll just disappear and then you can't use it anymore. So now that flashlight does not work at this time. It works when the aurora is out. So the aurora is a nice little mechanic they added to this game, and it adds electricity in specific times, and that's when the flashlight works. During an aurora, all the predator animals like wolves, bear, cougar, they all turn into an aurora version of the animal, and it does more damage and, you know, that kind of thing. The flashlight is used to keep the wolves at bay. Let's go clear out that trailer. Could be a wolf over there, so we'll pull out the pistol. Alright. So it's windy right now. I'm sheltered. That's the little shield you see up at the top there. But normally if you're walking around and such, like right now I'm not sheltered from the wind. So normally if you have a headwind, it could slow you down. If you have a backwind, it could speed you up. In this case, it doesn't seem to be affecting too much, so that's kind of nice. Okay, another baseball cap. Cool. This one's a much smaller trailer as well. It's not as much here. Spray paint. I'm not a fan of using spray paint. You can use it to mark stuff on the map and things like that, but I don't know. Maybe a later time. Alright, water, wood, dog food. Backpack. What's in here? Dog food. A lot of dog food. Nope, there's coffee. Nice. Coffee is good. It's nice to get like cooking levels up and stuff like that for coffee because you get quite a bit of it. Especially in stalker difficulty or below. So you can use that and just cook it, put up your skills, and it's all good. Let's see how okay. Got quite a bit going on here. I'll hit up this truck here on the way back to Hibernia. And now if you pay attention to my cold meter here, you're going to see it goes from like 3 arrows down to 1. So you'll notice that cars do provide warmth, which is nice. Hat. Oh, there's a memento. This is probably the one for Katie's secluded corner. We still go up here to get out of town, blah blah, and then... yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Let's extend our map a little bit.
My fingers feel numb.
And there it is. Yep, so Katie's secluded corner. It's kind of near the entrance to the region, so we'll probably take the mine afterwards and go that route, which will take us right over there. And then we can open up the lockers at the lighthouse. Another good thing about cars as well, even though there's a loading screen, they don't count as an indoor location. So if you ever get cabin fever risk, you can go into a car. If your gear's good enough, you'll be warm enough to stay there and wear out cabin fever. Oh, fire log.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Well, you have, though, because it's not the first time that your cold meter drops down there, Astrid. Again, that'll have cleared this entire area out.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
That's okay, you don't really have to. Let's dump. Let's see. Can put all these fuses in here, those cables. those in there because I don't need any tinder at the moment. Let's take a look here. We're going to drop some matches because I have a whole bunch. And I don't need that many, and they will add up. We'll get rid of... We'll put some here. So they did introduce a whole safe house customization thing. I haven't played too much around with it, so we'll see how that goes, but I don't want to waste my time doing that here. Because, like I say, Desolation Point is not a place where you come and go very often. It's very out of the way. So, we'll see what comes of it. Probably keep that for like camp office or something in Mystery Lake. Let's drop some of these books for now. That. Let's drop that. That's a lot of cedar. That fire log is kind of heavy, so we'll drop that. These accelerants. Keep one, that's all you really need. Okay. How are we doing now? Not very warm, but it's okay. So now we're going to make our way towards the mine. And that'll allow us to warm up anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Now the bear does travel the road every once in a while, so we'll pull out the flare gun. Hear the wolves in the background.
Wait,
There's a wolf down there somewhere, yep.
warming up a bit.
How you that cold, Astrid? Quick look, we'll loot this car at the same time. Water, it's cool. Oh, another gun cleaning kit. There you go, another accelerant. Those accelerants will add up very quickly. They're not something to use very often. Most people keep one in case they absolutely need to start a fire because it makes your fire chance, or your fire starting, 100% guaranteed that it's going to work. There we go, another sun kit. Disinfectant, something else that you get a lot of on this difficulty. Now we just need to go up that little snow path there. So that way will take us back towards the beginning. That way will take us towards the bear cave and the broken bridge. We're trying to go up this little snow path here. There we are. There's usually some saplings, but I guess not. We got this lichen here. And let's go into the mine. Now these mines are pretty linear. There's loot and such in them, but it's not a whole lot about this one here. There's some cool stuff that you can get. it just kind of brings us back to the beginning, and then you can grab a bunch of coal along the way. So we'll go ahead, we'll light a torch, and I'll talk to you when I get to the end of it. And we're
Not sure I
back.
can carry much more.
Oh, you'll be fine, Astrid. So as you saw, it's very linear. Most of them are super linear. There is one crazy mine when you get into the fire territory. But apart from that, it's pretty good. So we're going to go down here. Actually, Katie's secluded corner is just ahead of me. There's usually a bow there as well. So we're going to take a look. I didn't warm up as much as I would have liked to have warmed up, but it is what it is, I guess. So we'll stroll down here. Let's keep going. Oh, there's some saplings over there, some maples. So that's good. Oh, well, hello, Mr. Wolf. Alright. Oh, my torch is actually almost burnt out. So, with my torch there, if I would just aim at it, I could scare it off, but yeah, I'm just gonna... Clearly missed. Well, I didn't miss, I hit it, but as you can see, it leaves tracks, and it's also bleeding. We'll grab these maples. These maples are used to make the travois and bows, so... Don't know how I missed that wolf exactly, but it's okay. So as you can see, it's bleeding now, and it will die somewhere. Probably not going to see it again, but... So my torch was kind of really low condition there, because otherwise, if I would have aimed at it, and I don't know why I didn't do it here, normally if you aim at them when they're stanced like that, it will force a charge. And if you have an open fire source, so whether it be a flare, a torch, a campfire, anything that's an open flame, so not like a barrel fire or a lantern, but any actual open flame, they'll start a charge and then they run away. And I think that's kind of what was happening. It like bugged out a little bit, but it was kind of heading for it, which caused it to move, and then I shot it in the shoulder instead of right in the head or chest. Oh, let's see, it came up this way. You can track them. Here's Katie's secluded corner, so here we are. This is the memento hint that we saw earlier. So go ahead and we'll loot it. There's some stuff here, some good stuff. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. Well, maybe I'll make a fire, actually.
I'm not gonna be able to
There's
carry
some
this
wood
load
and
for
stuff
much
here.
longer.
Oh, there's a bow. Nice. One arrow, so I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but as you can see, the wolf ran around here and died. And, well, didn't die, but it was bleeding. So I'll pull the gun out just in case. Grab some charcoal. There's a burdock there. Grab these feathers. We'll be able to make some more arrows. There's a broken arrow. We can harvest that for an arrowhead and some feathers. Let's make a fire so that I warm up. I'll do the light of a torch trick. And then what I'll do is I'll get the deer, harvest the deer. That way I'll get some meat, so I'll be able to eat and save my cans and such. This is usually what I like to do, is I'll find like carcasses and I'll harvest what I can from them and eat that. That way I'm not using up all my dry food that doesn't stink. Because we will reach a point where we're just going to have to carry meat on us, and that's going to be our only option. So, I'm going to harvest 0.5 kilos, so keep in mind, harvesting skill, so your carcass harvesting skill, increases by the amount of time that you spend harvesting. So, technically what you want to do is harvest with your hands when possible. But the cooking skill is increased by the number of items that you cook. So whether you cook a 1 kilo piece of meat whether you cook 1 kilo piece of meat or a 0.5 kilo piece of meat, you'll get the same cooking skill increase. So you're better off cooking 2.5 pieces than 1 whole kilo piece. Which is what I'm doing here. So instead of just cooking 2 pieces of meat, I can cook like 3 or 4, which will help increase my level. And then you always drop everything, because again, wolves, if there's any close by, they'll detect you and then they'll start working towards your location. So you always want to drop anything that's stinky. Go, put that in there. And then you can grab these little feathers and such along the way. Alright, I think there's one more piece of meat that we can grab. Which time? We could do it. Just throw some wood on the fire. I'll grab the hide and that last piece of meat all at once. That way my meat should be close to ready. There we go. So now I can eat that meat. We'll stop that. There we go. This animal fat stuff is a new item that was just brought into the game as of the last update, so I think it can be used to make cooking oil. I'm not 100% sure on all its uses yet. I'm going to grab that burdock while that piece of meat cooks. Now, in order to harvest burdock, you need a tool, whether it be a hatchet or a pry bar, I believe. And that will allow you to dig them up, and then you get the root. You can use it to make teas. You can prepare it to eat just as a snack as well. So you can use it for food, you can use it for teas. I think it's more beneficial for food than it is for teas, though. Because for teas, it does pretty much the same thing as the mushrooms. Except you can't eat the mushrooms without making them into a tea. So you might as well keep the burdock for snacking purposes. Alright, let's go ahead. We'll finish up this last piece of meat. Can I? No. I know there's a way to make oil, or cooking oil out of that animal fat. I just don't know how to do it. So, oh, the weather changed, though. Eat that. Let's see. Let's grab a torch, like a fair torch. Okay, let's grab this stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's grab the guts from this deer, and I'll get that curing. Hopefully my torch doesn't blow out though. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the lighthouse, and then from the lighthouse we can search those lockers and see what we get from there. Just grab another low condition torch. Since I'm now carrying guts on me, I'm going to be stinky. I got the animal fat and the guts, so carry a torch so I can scare off any wolves I run into. Let's see, there should be a court. Yeah, there he is. There's a person over here. Oh, and a hatchet. Nice. There we go. Got those feathers, I guess. Now, you can go down these rocks if you take a look around and such, but I'm not going to bother too much with it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head towards the lighthouse, and we'll meet you at the lighthouse.
This pack is getting
All
too heavy
right,
to carry.
and we are at the lighthouse. Let's take a look. I'm pretty sure I cleared everything. Don't think I missed too much, but let's go ahead and drop these. So these guts are going to take 5 days to cure. That deer hide is going to take 5 days to cure, and these saplings will take 6 days. And then once they are cured, I can use them for crafting. So it's going to take some time, but we'll leave them here. And then worst case, we'll just grab them if we leave the region, or they'll be there for when we come back or something. We'll know that we have stuff here. It's good to have a supply of things anyway. Let's go and open up those lockers there that were missed. Not necessarily missed, but we couldn't open them up then. So let's see if we can get a coat maybe, or a pair of pants. That'd be nice. Nothing. Oh, we got a wow. Oh, we got a lantern. So a lantern will be cool. It's kind of helpful. We have plenty of oil for it, so. Okay. I don't know why somebody would lock a locker with nothing in it, but there we go. All right. think I missed anything, but let's take a look. Is there anything that I can do? It's getting late enough in the day, so could harvest that arrow, harvest this torch. So when you harvest a torch, it gives you a stick. So it's actually a good thing that, like, if you have a campfire and you have to leave, but you still have, like, a lot of time left on that campfire, you can actually pull torches. It'll, every 10 minutes of fire that you have, you can pull a torch and then harvest them for sticks. Let's take a look at the gear. I did pick up this toque here, this wool toque. It's actually the best hat in the game, so I'm probably going to repair it and use it. My boots are doing well. Those boots, not so great. I still don't have a coat, don't have long johns, but let's repair this hat. This wool toque, I should say. It will give you 2 degrees of warmth, so it's really warm. And it's very light, right? Well, it's the average hat weight, but the only other alternative to that would be the tactical, I think is what it's called, tactical balaclava. There is a balaclava, which is the same spec, same everything. There's a technical balaclava, which is a little lighter, I believe, or it's better in certain ways. And then you got the rabbit hat, which is a lot heavier, though, for the same warmth, so it's actually really good. Alright, let's see, is there any... Let's go ahead and just finish off this sewing primer here before it gets too dark, and then I can just be done with that. So now I just need to get my meters filled. Where's the bed? There it is. Let's go ahead. We can eat some low conditioned food. That way if we get food poisoning, we just sleep it off. I'm not low on health or anything like that, so I'm okay. Some foods will give you hydration, some foods will take it away, so you kind of get to know. Right? Like for instance, granola bars are 0.10 of a kilo, and they're 300 calories as well. And then a tin of sardines is also 0.10 of a kilo and 300 calories also, but they'll give you hydration on top of it, so it's a little bit better. The soda pops will give you hydration and calories. Let's see, got some stuff that I could need to drop, but harvest this arrow, get an arrowhead and a feather. It's pretty good condition bow too. It's not, perfect, but it's not bad. We'll refuel this lantern. Let's go ahead. We'll sharpen up the tools as well. So this is how you restore condition on your knives and your hatchets. Now I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense there in realistic perspective, because you can only sharpen them so many times before they get so small, right? But this is how you do it. And you can do this in the dark, there's no danger of cutting yourself by sharpening blades in the dark, so it's good. Right now we're just kind of doing things, getting ahead on some stuff, and trying to just pass some time, because you'll see that my fatigue meter, which is the eyeball there at the bottom, left-hand corner, is like when it's fully empty, you can sleep 12 hours. So I'm trying to get to at least the point of like 10. When you sleep, you'll regenerate health as well. And it's like a cumulative health regeneration. So you want to try and sleep for the longest time possible. That way you regenerate maximum amount of health. Now, Stalker and lower difficulties, you can sleep up to 12 hours with no worries, really. But you need to make sure that your thirst meter is completely full, and you have to have enough calories to go through the amount of time that you're sleeping. On Interloper, you can only do 10 hours before your thirst meter drains out, and then you'll start taking damage is what's going to happen. So right now I'm not super tired. I'll sleep 10 hours. I might not even sleep 10 hours. I might wake up fully rested before then. But we'll see. Yeah. Oh, my cleaning skill, woke up fully rested. Nice. So there we go, another morning. So you always want to grab a drink. That's the first thing you want to do. Drink one of these sodas, actually. And you'll see that the sodas do give you quite a bit of hydration. But they do run heavy, right? They're a quarter of a kilo, so it's pretty heavy. So I like to kind of use them up as I go. I don't like hanging on to them too much. Let's see, how's this stuff? Still curing, we're doing good. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to map this spot, because I didn't map it yet. Let's go outside. You can only map from outdoors. Most locations, I mean, some exceptions, for the most part, you got to be outdoors. There's the Lonely Lighthouse, there's the Hibernia. Over there is Matt's truck, and then that's over there, the Hibernia. So I want to go through that route. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you guys the concept of goading. This is what we call billy goading. So you want to find a place where there's an incline where you're not going to fall. So, like so, as long as it's, you know what I mean, gradually inclining, you can go.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
You will take damage if you fall from too high, and you could potentially die, but as long as you're careful, like you're all up, you could move your way this way. You can't use it really to go up places. Well, you can if you really know what you're doing, and there are some tutorials on how to do that, but for going down, it's pretty helpful. You do have to be careful though. Some areas are going to be instant death. Like if you try to go from the ravine into Bleak Inlet, it's instant death, and a couple areas like that. But goading is also a good way to avoid having to use ropes when possible if you're running heavy. Not always feasible, but it's a good way if it is. So. We're going to make our way. Oh, there's some wood over here that I'm going to grab. Little bits and bobs there. Just grab that. I want to make my way over to Matt's truck, which is just under the bridge. There is a cartographer achievement that you can get. I have not gotten it yet. I've been playing this game for a long time, but I keep starting over. Which I'm hoping this whole process is going to actually make me achieve 500 days. And I keep getting sidetracked on different things. And see, now the wind is blowing, it's against me, so you see my meters are going down really fast. Or at least my temperature is not moving very fast. I'm also pretty heavy, so I can't run. So you can get the cartographer achievement. You have to map certain areas, so many areas in each region. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll achieve that now this time.
I need to find some place to escape this cold.
Sometimes there's a wolf in the little dead end area here, so keep an eye out for that. Sometimes a rifle at Matt's truck. Some bits here. safest thing I've ever done to go into a truck that's half sunk, but
If I don't blow him up soon.
Please look for your brother and his friends. And this is over, yeah, this is by Scruffy's Cave. So we'll head there afterwards. I'll probably go and kill Scruffy as well. Alright, so now we are freezing cold. So we're by the waterfalls, so we're going down. We'll go ahead and map though. I know that I'm cold and I'll take damage, but that's fine. Let's just map it. Mappy map. There's Matt's truck. Oh, the fog's starting to roll in now. I really like the way that this game is. It's very immersive. The weather kind of rolls in. It's really sharp. The weather works, I think it's on a 4-hour cycle, so every 4 in-game hours kind of rolls a dice and sees what happens from there. So you can choose between foggy, windy, blizzard, sunny. It will change every 4 hours. Now the wind itself can change directions. I'm not sure exactly how that works. But I know the weather itself is, I believe, on a 4-hour cycle. We'll make our way back towards the Riken. I would like to map the Riken as well. So do that.
And this pack is getting kind of heavy.
It's warm in here, so that's good. Let's go ahead. What we'll do is we'll map the Riken. You got a map from outside, so let's go outside. I think it takes 30 minutes to map.
Damn, I'm freezing.
In-game time. So here on the map you can see up here, this is where Scruffy's Cave is. We've got the Hibernia, this is the cache. We've got the little island, and then over there we got Katie's.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
So in order to get the cartographer achievement, we just gotta get the rest of the areas. Let's go ahead and go back to Hibernia. We'll meet you at Hibernia. Alright, and we're back at Hibernia. Let me go ahead and increase the playback speed on this here so that I can go ahead and voice over. And we'll talk about some of the gear and this whole entire process. So let's go ahead and clean up this mess here. So the thermos we're going to put over here. I don't need it right now. It may come in handy because the world does get colder gradually. But we're also going to go to the summit, and we're going to get all the stuff from Timberwolf Mountain and such, so probably won't need that. But technically what the thermos does is it allows you to keep hot teas in it, and it keeps them hotter for longer. This is a bit of a monotonous part of the Long Dark, however, kind of crucial. So anything that can, like, when things are ruined, they can still be used for the most part. So like medication can still be used even though the condition wears down. But if you can't harvest anything from it, if you put them in a container, then they'll despawn when they ruin. So you have to kind of keep things out and about for the most part, except for like things like clothing, where once they ruin, you can still harvest cloth from them, so they won't despawn. So this is why this is always such a tedious part, where you have to kind of keep things out, you have to keep track of inventory, things you're not going to use yet or that you plan on coming back for, things like that. I usually will gather all, like when I clear out a region, like for instance Desolation Point, clear everything out. I'll drop everything that I don't need in a certain location known as the base, and then I can move on. Anything I might need or whatever, or things that I use often but don't need right now, usually what I'll do is I'll put them to a more central base where I tend to walk by it more often and that kind of thing. But it's good to have, like, you know, a sewing kit, for instance. Usually I'll leave, like, if I have a partially used sewing kit, I might leave that there just for emergency repairs. For instance, we have a bunch of disinfectant bottles. I don't need them that often, so I'm not going to really use them, so I'll leave them there. Accelerant. Accelerant's one of those things that it's good to keep one on you in case of emergency. So all the extras will go into a base, things like that. Now, I do plan on hitting up the forge and doing some stuff there, so I'm gonna just kind of stash everything there for now while I finish clearing stuff up. But for now, we're just gonna drop a bunch of this stuff. I still want to clear out Scruffy's cave. And then once I've cleared everything out, then we can kind of ready up and leave. So yeah, this is a tedious part. Alright, let's see what the weather's like outside. It's windy. So I guess we'll eat. Now, when it comes to eating, there's not much of a science behind it, other than until you reach cooking level 5, you don't want to eat poor condition things that are yellow until you're ready for bed. If you get food poisoning, you have to sleep, I think it's 9 hours. So unless you're able to just drop what you're doing and sleep for 9 hours, you don't really want to risk it. Then you need to look at weight, because keep in mind, right, you have a weight restriction. So you want to try and eat. Now, the dog food is pretty bad, because technically the dog food and those Zap bars weigh, or have the same amount of calories. It's 500 calories. Except that the dog food weighs 0.3 kilos, and the Zap bar weighs 0.1 or 0.10 kilos. So you want to eat the cans before you eat the bars. Now, your worst ones are technically the chocolate bars, because they're 250 calories for 0.10. So even if you double it, you get 500 for 0.2. So even that's not, you know, too bad. It's still better than the dog food, so you kind of want to eat the cans and such. The problem is that the cans, unless you're willing to or able to just drop them, they weigh 0.15 as well. They weigh 0.15 of a kilo. So once you're done eating a can, you still have a weight restriction. An added weight, I guess I should say, of 0.15. So if I eat a can of dog food, I only lose 0.15 kilos of weight, because then I have to carry the empty can around. So there's that as well. Now, cans do come in handy because you can make noisemakers out of them. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of use to them, so you can just kind of drop them and keep going, and usually that's what I'll do. I'll drop them in some areas and whatnots, and technically if I need them later, I can just retrace my steps and I'll find them as I go.
Perfect.
So that kind of thing, right? But that's kind of the thing, like those Pinnacle Peaches, right? They're half a kilo for 450 calories, so they're horrible. but you can cook them. So I try to save them so that I can cook them, and then I can do things along the way, right? Put up my cooking skill and stuff like that, and then if I need to, I'll leave them or I'll eat them, because I don't like carrying them around because they're heavy for no reason. But yeah, that's kind of the thing behind the food, is trying to figure out what's what. And then of course, like the sardines, they're 300 calories, but they also give hydration, so in the end that's kind of a good thing, right? They're just more likely to give you food poisoning, so there's always a trade-off and always a decision you need to make. Now back here, usually there's a backpack, sometimes maybe even a bedroll. Yeah, in this case there's a backpack. So, thing is because we can't jump, if we go over there, then we're stuck. One thing we can do is slowly destroy those things. So we've got 54 minutes of fire. Maybe we'll have to wait. Just kind of making sure I didn't forget anything while I wait on this stuff. Let's see, is there anything I can craft? Yes. So I'll craft. That'll pass some time. So the way it works is you've got your actual processing time of things, and then usually you have like a buffer. So like for the food, for instance, if you're cooking food, it'll have the initial cook time, and then it'll have how much time before it burns. I'm just checking to see if there's anything I can make here, but so you can always cook and then things will burn, so you have an amount of time. Usually it's about a half-hour buffer. Same with water. You have your melt time, your boil time, and then your like burn dry or evaporate time. So usually water, you know, depending on how you do it, you've got some play time here. So you've got your boil dry, right? So it's not that, you know what I mean, like if it takes 12 minutes to melt water and then 12 minutes to boil, it's not like you have to be there 24 minutes, or else you do have a buffer before you lose it. I think we'll cook those peaches, that way we get that done out of the way. Like I said, they're pretty horrible, so. They do give decent hydration though, and decent food, so. Oh, my fire's going out. Let's add some fuel to that. And some more water. And I'm a whole lot, so those cans of milk can't be cooked, the cans of dog food cannot be cooked, so you only really have the peaches. Making water doesn't give you any experience, so. We'll just speed that up there. You'll see how it had 30-minute burn time. That with this antiseptic. The old man's beard is kind of the same weight as antiseptic, but again, you can have like 1 or 2 uses, so just like 0.10 or 0.20 of a kilo instead of having to carry the 0.5 to 0.70. And then you just, as I use them, I'll just pick them up along the way and replenish. So. go. I think what we'll do here is we'll just go ahead. Get started. Thinking about this backpack here, and I kind of want to buy it. It's 45 minutes. Let's just tear it down. My water is boiling. You can hear it. Let's go check on that. Oh, the fire almost died out. There we go. Oh, one boiled out. One, I got that. Okay. Let's go break down the other crate. Oh, hey, hammer. Look at that. Now, I can go this way. If I duck, I can grab the backpack.
I can use this.
Then at least I can walk back around. This is all the stuff I can dismantle in the little mode of the customization, safe house customization. Go ahead and grab that water.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Some more. I want to go catch that little thing in the corner there. Put that down. Rinse and repeat. I want to try and multitask and do multiple things like this. It kind of helps build your base a little quicker and kind of achieve things faster. Not always the most feasible, depending on what the task is, but well, now I'm in the dark here. Look around this way. I should get this. Make one more. And then we'll grab a torch.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear. Alright, it's past the time. Get that water. Chuck that over there because it's about to die, and I'll just grab another one anyway. See, the torches are one thing that you don't really need to craft, if anything, because you can just kind of get them for free. I'm just going to grab a bunch of torches since I know I'm going to be going to Scruffy's cave afterwards, so I just want to make sure that I'm prepared, because nothing like hunting a wolf in a tight area. Oh, that's a good one. Let's keep that one. Okay, I think the day is just about over now. We're going to drop this wood. I've got a whole bunch of it.
God, I'd eat anything right about now.
So, we'll go ahead. We'll let's eat some lower condition stuff. Like those peaches, because they're horrible. So I usually go with like the lowest condition usually, but I try not to eat like those Zap bars because there are a lot of calories, right? Depends on what it is. Sometimes you just eat a bunch of smaller calorie stuff. Then you lose more weight that way, or you use more weight. But I also don't want to, like the peanut butter, the maple syrup, that's high calorie items, so I try to keep those for dire needs. Usually I'll stash those at a base. That way, if I'm completely starving, I know that I've got a good calorie count at the base kind of thing. But and then we'll sleep. And there we go. Woke up fully rested. So everything is all ready. It's still dark, so we'll grab a drink. Not much we can do in the dark, but we can pass 2 hours. That's a little trick. If you pass 2 hours, then you can sleep 1. So that way you can kind of get through the night and be fully rested. And there we go. It is now daylight. I am fully rested. Everything's ready to go. Ready for a brand new adventure. I'm going to go ahead and leave you here, and I'll see you in the next episode.